The moment Jin left the concert stage and headed straight for an airport instead of a celebration, one unsettling question erupted across the fandom. Is Jungkook in danger, and what is Jin's sudden post-concert decision really hiding? The speed, silence, and urgency surrounding Jin's movements triggered alarm not because of what was said, but because of what was not explained. According to circulating accounts, Jin had just concluded an emotionally charged performance when he received information serious enough to alter his plans within minutes. There were no fan interactions, no public remarks, no reassuring gestures, only a rapid departure that contrasted sharply with his usual composure. Why would an artist known for discipline and predictability abandon protocol unless something far more urgent demanded his attention? And why did speculation immediately converge on Jungkook? Observers began piecing together fragments. Recent schedules that appeared unusually compressed, Jungkook's reduced public visibility, and subtle changes in group dynamics noticed only by the most attentive fans. None of these details confirm a crisis on their own, yet together they form a pattern that invites scrutiny. Is this coincidence amplified by fan anxiety, or are these clues pointing toward a situation deliberately kept out of public view? What intensified concern was the perceived emotional weight of Jin's response. Sources close to production circles described him as visibly shaken, repeatedly asking for updates during transit. Such descriptions, while unverified, raise an uncomfortable question. If Jungkook's condition were minor, would such urgency be necessary? Or does the silence suggest a calculated effort to control the narrative until clarity is achieved? Equally striking is the absence of an immediate, detailed statement from management. In an industry where rapid clarification is often used to extinguish rumors, hesitation can feel ominous. Is the delay a sign of respect for privacy, or does it reflect uncertainty about what can responsibly be shared? And how does that ambiguity affect a global audience conditioned to read meaning into every pause? The reaction from fans worldwide has been swift and emotional, yet revealing in another way. Support campaigns, messages of concern, and calls for transparency surged within hours. This collective response demonstrates not only loyalty, but also vulnerability to incomplete information. When emotions run high, where does empathy end and speculation begin? Are fans protecting Jungkook by demanding answers, or unintentionally intensifying pressure through relentless attention? It is also worth asking whether this moment exposes a broader issue within the entertainment system itself. If Jungkook is facing strain, physical, emotional, or both, does Jin's sudden decision highlight the limits of endurance expected from global idols? Or are we projecting systemic fears onto a situation that may be far less dramatic than it appears? At the same time, skepticism is essential. Much of the circulating narrative originates from secondary accounts, social media posts, and interpretations of behavior rather than confirmed facts. Could this story be an example of how quickly concern transforms into assumed crisis? Are we witnessing genuine warning signs, or a feedback loop where silence fuels imagination and imagination masquerades as truth? Jin's action, regardless of the underlying reason, has become symbolic. It represents urgency, loyalty, and protection, but symbols can be misleading. Does his decision confirm that Jungkook is in danger, or does it simply reveal the depth of their bond, amplified by public scrutiny? And how much of what we believe is shaped by emotion rather than evidence? As audiences, we are compelled to pause and reflect. In an era where information spreads faster than verification, every dramatic headline demands interrogation. Which details are confirmed, which are inferred, and which are entirely speculative? Are we consuming responsible reporting or participating in a cycle of sensationalism that benefits algorithms more than truth? Until verified information emerges, one reality remains undeniable. Jin's abrupt post-concert move has unsettled the global community and reignited debate about transparency, privacy, and the human cost of fame. Whether Jungkook is truly facing danger or not, this moment challenges us to ask harder questions, not only about what might be happening behind closed doors, but about how we interpret, share, and emotionally invest in narratives built on uncertainty. So before drawing conclusions, we must ask ourselves, Are we responding to facts or to fear? And in our rush to care, are we also willing to wait, question, and think critically, especially when the truth may be far more complex than the story unfolding online? As this narrative continues to unfold, the most pressing issue may not be what happened behind closed doors, but how quickly certainty has replaced doubt in the public imagination. The moment Jin's sudden decision became visible, interpretations multiplied at a speed that outpaced verification. But should urgency automatically be equated with crisis, or are we conditioned to assume the worst whenever silence appears? And more importantly, why do we feel compelled to choose a definitive version of the story before facts are confirmed? Consider how fragments of information are circulating. Short clips, anonymous accounts, emotional captions, and speculative threads from TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and other platforms now shape the dominant narrative. Yet, how many of these sources are accountable, and how many are optimized for attention rather than accuracy? When a claim is repeated often enough, does it become believable simply through exposure, or does repetition merely mask the absence of evidence? This moment forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. Emotionally charged stories are the easiest to accept and the hardest to question. When fear, empathy, and loyalty intersect, skepticism is often dismissed as insensitivity. But is critical thinking truly a lack of compassion, or is it a necessary safeguard against manipulation? If we care about the people involved, shouldn't we be more cautious about amplifying unverified claims rather than less? There is also the issue of narrative framing. Headlines ask whether Jungkook is in danger, but danger from what exactly and based on whose confirmation? Is this language a responsible reflection of reality or a strategic choice designed to provoke anxiety and clicks? At what point does concern cross into dramatization? And who benefits when ambiguity is framed as catastrophe? Jin's silence, too, has been interpreted as evidence. But silence is not a statement, and absence of explanation is not proof of concealment. Are we mistaking restraint for secrecy? Or projecting our own expectations of transparency onto individuals who may be navigating private, complex situations that do not belong to the public sphere? When we demand immediate answers, are we seeking truth or reassurance tailored to our emotional needs? It is also worth questioning the broader media ecosystem that thrives on escalation. Would this story have gained the same traction if it were framed as uncertainty rather than alarm? If the narrative had emphasized unconfirmed instead of shocking, would it still dominate timelines? And if not, does that reveal more about audience behavior than about the event itself? We must ask ourselves another difficult question. Are we evaluating information, or are we emotionally investing in a storyline? When speculation aligns with our fears, do we challenge it, or do we share it faster? And when a theory feels plausible, do we ask who verified it, or do we assume plausibility is enough? This is not to dismiss the possibility that something serious may indeed be happening. Real health concerns, real emotional strain, and real urgency do exist in high-pressure industries. But acknowledging that possibility does not require abandoning critical judgment. In fact, it demands it. Without skepticism, even genuine situations can be distorted into exaggerated myths that harm rather than help those involved.